Hey guys, Matt Rao here with Truck Driving Schools Info. In this video, I'm going to take you through the process of applying for federal grants for truck driving school, specifically the Pell Grant. Now, not all truck driving schools will accept the Pell Grant, mainly because the length of the CDL training program isn't long enough to qualify for the Pell Grant, since it's shorter than the length of your average college semester. Now, it's always a good idea to check with the truck driving school to see if they do accept the Pell Grant, and if they do, then this video will help you navigate through the application process. And remember, a grant is money that you don't have to pay back. So this article here tells you how to get free grant money for truck driving school. It's pretty much an overview of the process. It tells you about the Pell Grant, what you must do to qualify for the Pell Grant. Now the best way to find out if a truck driving school in your area will accept the Pell Grant is to come down here and fill out this form. And a reputable CDL training school in your area will contact you for a hassle-free, no obligation consultation. And they'll be able to tell you what kind of student financial aid you'll be able to use at the school to pay for your CDL training. And they'll also be able to answer your questions about the Pell Grant, if they accept the Pell Grant, which would pay for your training, your supplies, your books, and also some of your living expenses while you're in school. And if you come down here, we also have a list of the state grant offices in each state with contact information. And right up here, I actually went through the whole process of applying for the federal grant on the FAFSA website. And here are all the instructions here, step by step. Looks like there's 45 steps to complete. So I'm going to do this video. I'm going to go through the entire process. So for those of you that don't want to read the steps, you can just watch the video. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on fafsa.gov. And we're going to click the Start a New FAFSA button. And here I'm going to enter the student's information. So you're going to enter your first name, last name, your social security number, and your date of birth. And then you'll click the next button. And now since I already went through the process to the end, it's saying they currently have my application, although I didn't submit it. So I'm going to start over so you can see the whole process. So you want to create a 4 to 8 digit, I usually do a 4-digit save key. I just use 4 numbers that it's easy for me to remember. And then you have to verify it. And then click the next. And I'll just update that. Here it tells you the different steps. You can click on these and then come back, but we're just going to click next for now. So here it already put in the information that I filled out, first name, last name, social security number, and date of birth. So now you want to click whether you're male or female, put in your permanent address, you're going to have to answer, have you lived in whatever state you put in for the last 5 years, at least 5 years? I haven't, so you want to choose your state of residence. It should already be chosen for you. And then answer, did you become a legal resident of whatever state you chose before January 1st, 2012? No. And then when did you become a legal resident of your state? Put in the date. It's just going to be the month and the year. Put in your telephone number. Put in an email address where they can contact you. Make sure you get the email address correct, because this is the email they're going to send you after you finish and submit your application. I advise you to type the email address twice instead of just copy and pasting it in the second prompt, just to make sure you typed it in correctly. You're going to select your marital status, single, and it'll ask you, do you have driver's license information that you want to provide? I just keep that set to no. Click next. Here you're going to answer if you're a U.S. citizen or not. Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. What will your high school completion status be when you begin college the 2017-2018 school year? High school diploma. What will your college level be when you begin the 2017-2018 school year? Just put never attended college first year. What degree or certificate will you be working on when you begin the 2017-2018 school year? Associate's degree. Are you interested in being considered for work study? No. Will you have your first bachelor's degree before you begin the 2017-2018 school year? No. Are you a foster youth or were you at any time in the foster care system? No. Highest school completed by parent 1? I'm going to select high school. Highest school completed by parent 2? High school. Click next. Now here you're going to enter in the name of your high school, the city where your high school is located, and the state where your high school is located. Click confirm. And you should see the name of your high school down here and the city where it's located. Click select. And now it says the high school you selected was added to your application. Click next to continue. So I'm going to click next. Now it says, Matt, based on the information you provided, we have determined that you may qualify for federal student aid. Continue through the application for us to determine how much aid you can receive. And it also says application was successfully saved, which reminds me, you can save your application at any time if you come down here to the bottom and click the save button. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out this information here, which is a school or college that I plan to go to where I'll be using the federal aid. So we're going to select a state where the school is located. This is optional. It helps the system to get the exact school. So I'm just going to type it in. You don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. Type in the school name. Click search. And here it brought up all the schools, pretty much all the colleges, well, not all of them, but in Delaware. And since I typed in Dover, the one I'm looking for is the first one in the list. And you can see it has a federal school code here. You don't have to write that down. You might want to for later on. But all you have to do is click the box next to the school. Click the add button. And you can see it adds it over here. And you can select up to 10 schools. But since I'm only applying for one school for the sake of this video, I'm not going to select more. So now we're going to click next. And here you see it has the school that I selected, the federal school code. And you're going to choose your housing plans. Since I'm planning on living off campus, I'll just put off campus. Again, you can add another school here if you just click add a school. So now we're going to click next. Again, that says application was successfully saved. So now what we're going to do is you're going to answer all these questions here. You want to answer truthfully because you don't want to get your application denied later on because you didn't answer the questions truthfully. So I'm just going to answer these one by one. Now here it says, because of the way I answered the questions, you are considered an independent student. This means you are not required to answer questions about your parents. That's great. So it still asks you, do you want to answer questions about your parents? I'm just going to leave it set to no. So before I go any further, I just want to explain something real quick. If you are considered a dependent student, then you're going to have to answer financial questions based on your parents' tax return information. If you are an independent student, then you'll only have to answer financial questions based on your own tax return information. There's one way to determine whether you're a dependent student or an independent student, and that's to ask yourself this question. Will you be 24 or older by December 31st of the school year for which you are applying for financial aid? If you answer yes to that question, then you're most likely an independent student. If you answer no to that question, then you're most likely a dependent student. If you have any questions about your dependency status or need more information, you can visit studentaid.gov/dependency, and that'll answer some of your questions and help you figure out whether you're a dependent student or an independent student. Click Next. Here it says, attention, you must provide financial information from your 2015 tax return on the following pages. And it also says my application was saved. So for 2015, have you completed your IRS income tax return or another tax return? Click Already Completed, because I've already completed it, obviously. For 2015, what is your tax filing status according to your tax return? Single. Now here you can use the IRS data retrieval tool if you already filed and send it into the IRS. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to, because I'll show you the longer process for those that aren't eligible for this. And I did not file a Form 1040X amendment tax return, so click no. Did you file a Puerto Rican or foreign tax return for 2015? No. Now here you would link to the IRS if you wanted to use IRS data retrieval tool. Since I'm not going to, I'm going to click Next. Again, they tell you it's easier to use IRS DRT. For the sake of the video, I'm going to click No Thanks. And now you're going to put in your tax information from your previous income tax year, which would be 2015 according to this video. So I used IRS 1040A. What was your adjusted gross income for 2015? This amount is found on IRS Form 1040A-line 21 or 1040EZ-line 4. And I already know the answer to this, so I'm going to type it in here. How much did you earn from working wages, salaries, tips, etc. in 2015? This amount is found on IRS Form 1040A-line 7 or 1040EZ-line 1. And I know the answer to this already. As of today, are you a dislocated worker? I hope not. Click Next. So here you're just going to continue filling out your student financial information. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these out. And here it asks you, do you have any additional financial information? Just read through these, click any of them if they apply. It'll tell you to answer the question after you click on there. None of these pertain to me. So at the bottom here, it says, do you want to skip questions about your assets? I just keep that clicked yes and click Next. So this is the last page of the application. Here it's going to ask you, are you a preparer? I just leave it clicked on no. It'll show you your information here, your social security number, your last name, and your date of birth. Just review and make sure that information is correct. Here it says read before proceeding. So you want to read the terms inside the box here. And it says, I, the student, agree to the terms outlined above. If you agree, click Agree. Here you're going to put in your FSA ID username or verified email address and your FSA ID password. If you don't have either of these, don't worry. You just come over here to the right and click Create an FSA ID. So once you have your FSA ID, you're going to put in your username here and your password here. And then you're going to click this Sign button. And once you're ready to submit your application, you come down here and click the Submit My FAFSA Now button. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because this is just a video to show you the process. But that's it. You're all done. And what they'll do is it takes them a few days. It might take them a little longer because it's the government, but they'll review your application and they'll send you an email letting you know whether you are eligible for student grant aid or not. If you are, they'll tell you how much you're going to get for the school year based on the information that you put in, your tax information. It's based on the income that you made the previous year, and the less income you make, the more grant aid you'll get. And I believe the most you can get, at least at the time I'm making this video, is a little over $5,700. That's for 1 year. So anyway, I hope this video helped you go through the process of applying for a grant aid. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.